John from Eastern Hot Rodder, and today we're going to tackle a water pump leak in my wife's 2011 Hemi Charger. So we'll show you what we got going on here. Stock 5.7 Hemi, and it started leaking and leaving a puddle, and you can see the mess down in here, sitting up on here, sprayed up all over the alternator, all over the belts and everything, and we're losing water. So the first thing we gotta do is take this thing off so we can access stuff. And we are going to take that pump out here. We're gonna have to take this off, disconnect this, take the belt off and everything, get to the pump. So our first step is gonna be drain the radiator. So we're gonna take the cap off to get us some breathing room so everything's not under a vacuum. Put it up in the air, drain this sucker, put it back down and get to work. Follow along. So underneath the car, we're gonna pull this little belly pan off so we can get to the radiator. It's the same pan you take off to do an oil change on it. So there's 4 bolts, takes that off. We'll get those things off. 10 millimeter ratchet, and we can follow these out, get that off, and then drain that radiator. You can see how much of a mess that's made. It's all running down there. This is all, when I did the last oil change, this looked like brand new under here. Now it's all just a sloppy mess because it got all cooked onto everything. The access for the radiator drain is inside there. You can see that tube comes down here, goes up to that. Let's see if we can get it on camera. There it is. So we're gonna open that up, drain this radiator out while that's draining. We'll get something to eat, I guess. This is 8 millimeter to take that off. Then there's a little squeezy thing right here. Give that a little squeeze. You push in, squeeze it, and it pops right out. So don't go just yanking on that thing. You'll end up breaking it off. You don't want to do that. And get that there. And I don't even think we have to undo the other side. We might, just to give us a little bit more room to work. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. So that's giving us plenty of access here. You see it's a square drive, goes into your idler pulley to take the belt off. Looks like it's probably gonna be 13 millimeter to take the upper hose off. I think it's gonna be right connected with that. I heard that bottom one is difficult to get to. Well, I guess we'll find out. Look at that play in that pulley. You can hear it. That's what our problem is for sure. All right, well, we'll disconnect this here, pull the hoses off, got this bolt here to take out to get this out of the water pump. So this bugger was a little hard to get to, so using 3/4 inch wrench to rotate that fitting around so I could get to it to see how that actually held, because searching around there with my fingers, I couldn't see it. So what I had to do, lift up on the black part to slide this red collar back, and then I could just squeeze that and it come right off. So this has to transfer over to your new water pump. That's just a 3/4 inch. It comes out of that, and that'll move over. Make sure you put some thread sealer on it. Continue to take things apart. 10 millimeter bolt holds this to the pump housing, and then this pops out. Just use a straight screwdriver and popped it out nice and easy. I'm going to inspect that O-ring. Weird thing is, I went to drain the radiator and nothing came out. There was no coolant warning light or anything that came on. So I pulled that tube out and nothing came out of that either. So this is apparently lower on water than it appeared to be. It's probably good we had a cold spell. But right now I'm taking off the water neck for the thermostat housing. The belt tensioner, that's a 16 millimeter bolt there. Once I took the belt off, we will have to transfer this over onto the new pump, I do believe. Yeah, that's all part of the new pump, I think.
Some guys like sports, others like boozing, but not me, I'm just East Bank cruising.
13 millimeter also takes off this idler here. This will have to transfer over to the new pump as well. So we'll get these suckers off and moved over. That allows access to the bolts. There's probably about 10 bolts that go around this wheel to hold it on.
It don't matter where we're going, just away from here because we're cruising.
this spot here. We're gonna clean that up first. I don't want to put that on. Nice new water pump. Another tip is, you can see you got the bolts that go around here and this longer one here. I don't know if they're going to be different lengths or not, so as I take them out, I'm going to set them in the pump so I know exactly where to go, just in case they are different lengths. And that's nice and tight now. So that's where your idler is going to go, or your tensioner goes. Your idler goes here. Take the idler tensioner off. There's not a lot of room between the fan and the bracket there, so I just use the tensioner tool instead of a ratchet or a wrench, because I don't have an offset 16 mil here. Take that loose. So now we can get in there and take that off. So see how flat that is there? It gives you plenty of clearance to be able to get in there with this. It just takes a little bit longer than using a ratchet. So I'm starting to take these bolts out. These are 13 millimeter, and they run the perimeter of the pump. I'll show you on the new pump. It's pretty self-explanatory. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 11. I think that's bolt arrows. Yeah, it will be. Right there. So we're gonna take all that stuff, and it's just a matter of putting it back where you took it out. See, that's a really long one. For that one, we're gonna clean that one up. And we'll stick that in the water pump over there, and we'll just do that with all of them until they're all out. I got the little radiator hose off. That was a pain in the butt. That factory band clamp type thing like this, I don't have the right tool to get on it with the room I got there, so I ended up using this pair of channel locks. This one kept slipping. This tool here is designed for the old stuff. We're an old car garage. We don't really work on too much new stuff, so that was, you're gonna have to pick up one of the right tools for that, or just get a hose clamp, because that was a bear. Well, 13 mil is out, but right here, number 11 is a 15 millimeter, right there in the center. And trying to do this little thing on the camera, kind of possible, but we get it done. And that should be our last one to take this pump off. My one concern is how much room I'm going to have to get this out of the way to clear, because I don't know where that goes in the back, and I don't want to get into pulling intakes and stuff like that. So it should be enough room to squeeze it by. And only a couple of these bolts actually had thread sealant on them, so most of them are dry holes. You don't have to worry about sealing all of them, but there we go. Ta-da! And it's pretty much dry. I'll put a little something on it just in case. So it's ready to come off now. We'll have to pry that one off, so I gotta put the camera down. All right, guys, so we got the water pump off. Surface is all cleaned. We keep wicking the water out of here the best we can. I gotta go get a thermostat, so we're gonna let that sit there, and when we come back, we'll throw that pump on and button this thing up. And so we got the water pump on, we got all the pulleys on. So we got that other pulley, we got our adjustable pulley. Everything went together real nice and smooth. Got our temp sender, fan turnaround, I don't know what that one does, but does it. We got that back on there. So we're gonna put the serpentine belt back on. And I think what I'm gonna do is try to fill this in the radiator hose first until I see it start to peek out of there, before I put the thermostat and button this thing up, and then finish filling from the tank. And you should be good to go. So I'll let you know how that goes, see how much mess we're making. All right, so there you have it, guys. We're all back together. It's definitely quieter. It wasn't growling before. I didn't realize that was that bearing, but no leaks that I see. And to put it up in the air, turn that belly can back on. So I hope you guys figure out how to do this. Wasn't too bad. It's actually a little easier than I thought it was going to be. Sure, put your belly pan back on. That way you got all your cooling and engine protections back where it's supposed to be. Now we have that all done, we can let it down on the ground and back this out. Give it some time to warm up and check the fluid and make sure it's up where it needs to be.
Now we pulled on over to the roadside. The cop walked with the law on his side, and I said, "Officer, it's just my luck. My foot slipped off the clutch and I thrown it out stub."
It's working.